My name is Moises Groezinger. I'm from El Salvador. I'm a volunteer firefighter. I don't know much about my country because I was raised in an orphanage. I've always wanted the love of a family. And growing up, that was really hard because I always asked myself, if I wasn't good enough for my family, would I ever be good enough for anyone else? One day, we were told there was going to be people from the United States that were going to come into the orphanage and bring us gifts. Who would give a kid that didn't have any parents gifts? But I remember they started walking up and they started to put red and green shoe boxes on the kitchen table. They tell us to sit down on the kitchen floor, and then they start saying many things, but the only thing that I could remember was the phrase that they'd share with us, "Jesus loves you." But I remember thinking, maybe they meant Jesus loves those who have parents. I started to walk away with my head down. And as I'm walking away, there's a man who was distributing the boxes who motions me to come back. With a smile on his face, he looks directly into my eyes. And then one more time, he reminds me that Jesus loves me, and then hands me my very first gift. I also received the greatest gift booklet. It's many stories from the Bible, but it also came in my very own language. A few weeks later, I called one of the adults taking care of us, and I asked her, would you help me understand this? Would you help me read this? And that's when we read it together, and I finally understood what the book was talking about. And that's when my prayer journey began, and I started to pray for a family of my own. When I was 10 years old, they told me that there was going to be a family in the United States who wanted to adopt me. A few weeks later, we drove to the airport, and that's when I saw 3 Americans, and I just remember running to them and calling them familia. Coming into the United States was a very difficult experience, and just also getting used to the love of a family. With all the catching up that I had to do, my relationship with the Lord just drifted away. That's when my parents took me on my first mission trip. And I remember having a terrible attitude about it because I didn't want to go. But they take me anyways, and I remember just seeing so many kids running to you and just giving you a hug. That was me not long ago. You see, those kids just wanted to be loved, cared, and seen. The Lord had not just given me a family, but also a purpose. It wasn't until recently where I was reunited with Samaritans and Spurs, Operation Christmas Child, where I decided to serve. My hope is to bring the gospel to the ends of the earth and share the greatest gift with boys and girls all over the world.